Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Kuro no Kiseki 2 Crimson Sin analysis video, as a lot of news just dropped which came out for Crimson Sin, and we're here to discuss this. If you haven't seen my last week's discussion video or my screenshot video of last week, go ahead and check it out. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get started. So first off, we got the introduction, of course, Ren Bright. Ren Bright was already announced as a playable character before, but this is her official artwork, which is pretty cool, honestly, with her new outfit as well. And I'm looking at a article from Gamatsu, and it tells us all the info about what she is. So she's 17, she has a scythe, of course, and she's a second-year exchange student from the Liberal Kingdom at the prestigious Aramis High School, and Agnes is upperclassman who lives in the same dormitory. She is a gifted talent able to accurately and perfectly overcome any challenge, and is known on campus as the Invincible Student Council President, yes, of course. And Ren, who has a history of working as an enforcer in the organization Ouroboros, as well as the career of beyond the understanding of ordinary people, such as publishing numerous doctoral dissertations since childhood, and is recognized by the Central Intelligence Division, engineers from all over the continent and even the underworld. In the case involving the mafia organization Armada, she used their abilities to help out the Arkwright Solutions Office and the Bracer Guild. With the establishment of the Technology Federation on the verge of completion, which was her original objective in entering the Republic, and the School Arts Festival just around the corner, Ren seems to have returned to her home in Liberal for the time being, in which we introduce another screenshot. The next screenshot is going to be, of course, with Agnes. Nice to see that both those two are going to be together again. If it's no surprise together, they'll be teaming up in the near future. Especially in combat, where you see Ren, Agnes, and Kincaid in combat together as a three-person group, which is very interesting to know why these three will team up. But I guess we will find out as if they show a chapter or something like that. Next up, of course, this is like the picture of her using her S-Craft, of course, which is a pretty good pause, knowing that there's a cast on the back, the bats too, which is pretty awesome to know that she's gonna be very playable for us in our eyes, and we're finally get to see what she really does. All right, next photo, you guys. You guys have been waiting so long to know this one. Is obviously Shizuna Rem Misurugi, the return of one of my favorite characters in Kuro no Kiseki, or basically anyone's favorite character. But anyway, we've seen that she's got a new outfit. I posted in the community about her new outfit. I didn't want to make a video about it until today, so here we are right now. And yeah, even though people said they like her new outfit, I'm like, damn, what if we gave Falcom was like, what if we gave her casual clothes? And this is their interpretation of what casual clothes should be. And one, you got the whole outfit itself. She got the random tie. She even has the shorts, even though with that one exposed leg. You see that flower symbol right there, of course. It's even though the funny part is the design of the clothes is literally the hips. Literally. If this is their way of saying casual, I'm fine with it, I guess. I got nothing to complain about, as long as it's not too much. Anyway, next photo is gonna be with Aaron, as they're both half, without their shirts off or whatever. And yeah, it'll be very interesting because it's one, the voice actors are Maichi and of course his brother as well. And yeah, it'll be very interesting. Oh yeah, I also forget to mention that about her. She is the vice commander of the samurai group Ikaruga, and a user of the Black God Unblade style, known as the nickname the Divine Blade of Silver. Her weapon of choice is the Ebanodachi, a long sword with a detailed pattern etched onto it, and her swordsmanship allows her to overpower even the best of the best. Despite her standout childlike face and flawless conduct, she can see and understand the true nature of things with the unclouded eye granted her by her master, and is vessel worthy of the name Divine Blade. She came into contact with the Arkwright Solutions Office after hiding out in the Ishgar Mountains in the eastern part of the Republic. After that, she temporarily assisted Vaughn and company with a number of serious incidents caused by Armada, which happened in Edith. She seems to have some kind of business with the Republic government, but the whole story behind her group Ikaruga and the purpose of activities have yet to be revealed. So, with this next slide, of course, you got her new outfit as well, which she does a pretty fantastic pose. I'm very curious to know, like, when we'll be seeing her in battle. Like, maybe around, like, a mid-chapter or something, like, or filler chapter, I don't know. But either way, it'll be very interesting to see. And yeah, we also see another photo with Shizuna teaming up with Vaughn and Agnes. So maybe, depending on the story, how it goes, that we'll be actually teaming up with Shizuna and Ikaruga in a chapter, depending on our choices, of course. So, like, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, like, how this all plays out and what we'll find out about alignments in Kuro no Kiseki 2 Crimson Sin, but I'm looking forward to see how this is going to turn out. Alright, next up, we got Koumo Fade, and he is 28 years old. Oh yeah, by the way, Shizuna's like 24, but anyway, we've gone past that right now. He is holding a military Buster Lancer, which, as I gotta say, even though this picture is not the best to show his weapon, it is a huge weapon though. And let's give out his info, shown in Gamatsu. Known as the Blazing Whirlwind, he is Fairy Alfade's older brother, said to be one of the strongest Jaegers in the Kurga Warriors clan. His appearance is natural and cool, without a single opening for others to strike. He possesses the physical strength to wield a giant military Buster Lancer with ease, as well as an excellent commanding capabilities, as regarded as one of the strongest in terms of fighting strength among the Jaegers, which I have yet to fully believe until, like, I literally see it myself in combat. Like, even though it is shown that he was, but it wasn't really proof enough for me as a player. So, like, we have to see him like more in combat, and maybe give him like exciting abilities to like worry about. We'll see. He currently serves as the chief security officer of the Marduk Total Security Company, totally not sus, by the way. And 2 years ago, taught Vaughn tactics via the Stun Caliber and the Zero Strike. Although he has cut ties with the Kurga Warriors clans, which is basically the Jaegers he was part of, and does not have a close relationship with his younger sister Fairy, he seems to be watching her journey of growth as a warrior and a human being from afar. One, it is like important that he does, like, even though he's not part of the family, he is kind of like overseeing her younger sister a little bit. So we'll just have to see if like we'll get more on the relationship between Fairy and Fade. And speaking of that, there's actually another picture, which like Kasim is like the face of it all, and then you see Fairy back there, and then you see, I don't know, what's that in the background? Maybe dead people? I'm not really sure. Anyway, next up, we got ourselves a craft usage for Kasim, and we don't know what craft it is, to be honest, but we'll just have to see, like, once we see some more gameplay footage. And next up, of course, he has the damage itself. He's doing 2600 damage, inflicting attack and magic down. And it looks to be damaging an enemy with that, so like, yeah. I'm very looking forward to see what kind of crafts he does. Alright, next up, we got another Mare with a... Yes, part of your Zypha, of course. Which is, of course, Vaughn's combat ornament. Alright. He's a special hollow core, support artificial intelligence, installed in Vaughn's combat orbit, Zypha, and extremely self-assertive. While her personality was originally set up as an artificial intelligence with the resonance of the prototype orb in Genesis, She manifests in the real world as a hologram-like state, exhibiting a will unexpected of an AI. She seems to be able to freely manipulate a vast number of shards and has saved Vaughn countless times by covering his body in shard armor, transforming him into the Grendel, even though that one time she fucking possessed Yume. I will not forgive her for that, but anyway, during the battle against the mafia organization Armada, it was revealed that Mari herself is a being with some sort of role, who under special circumstances can even take over human consciousness, which we've already seen before in the intermission. So like, yeah, I'm hoping she doesn't do that again, but then again, if I'm being jinxing it pretty honest, then I probably think that's gonna happen. And yeah, this is where he's talking to Agnes and Elaine. I believe this is Elaine's probably first time seeing the Mari. I don't think at any point during Kuro no Kiseki that Elaine has seen the Grendel or the Mari, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, this will be a very interesting like first time like seeing this, of course. Especially with her gonna be talking to Vaughn and Agnes as always. But this time we're gonna be talking to her casually instead of like in the brink of combat or so. So like this will be very interesting, like if we're gonna get more interactions with her throughout the game goes. And next, we're gonna be showing off the Grendel. You guys already know the Grendel. The Grendel, of course, is the fairy type support artificial intelligence Mari manifests in the real world and transforms Von Archive by covering his entire body with shard armor. And yeah, the Grendel's obviously gonna make a return, so it's pretty obvious. And by transferring the Grendel and Mari's support, Von's physical abilities significantly increase, as he exhibits tremendous fighting strength beyond human comprehension. The Grendel Zoga, the reddish-black creature believed to be the culprit who slaughtered the Central Intelligence Department's Gamma Squad, also wears shard armor, but it's unclear whether this is a shackle or not, such as Von's Grendel, which I'm gonna show this next picture here, which like he's fighting the Grendel Zoga. I wonder how many times we're gonna be encountering the Grendel Zoga, so it'll be very interesting to see how many times we're gonna be fighting it if we like decide to win the fight or decide to lose the fight. So we'll see, honestly. And of course, we got this really cool attack where you see Vaughn and Grendel like literally doing the same thing with their eyes glowing. I'm like, what? Oh my god, they're gonna make an attack specifically for that? I'm like, oh shoot. I am looking forward to see what that does once the game comes out. But unfortunately, I don't know if I will be able to play, but we'll see. Anyways, it also shows that the Grendel encountered Grendel Zoga's Mari as well, which on the case Vaughn and Mari confront Grendel Zoga and artificial intelligence Altera on countless occasions. You'll see Altera in the background right there assisting Grendel Zoga, so who knows how many times we're going to be able to see them fight, but very much looking forward to how that unfolds. Next up will be the Marchen Garden MTSC. So, for those wondering, this Marchen Garden was introduced last week. It's known to be the content of Zemiria's first virtual space service that utilized the Combat Orbit Xiphon Orbital Network. So it kind of reminds you a little bit of the Reverie pace, which is pretty cool that we're gonna get to see like this in Kuro. It is based on the data of the virtual combat simulator that Marduk, Total Security Company, have been researching and developed internally, but significantly updated and expanded with new features. Totally not sus Marduk, by the way. By reading the vast amount of data from the overall network, it can generate a large-scale environment, making it easy for remote users to access the same virtual space. I know I've hit my mic, but it doesn't matter. And you see the next photo, you could see like they're in the Marchen Garden as well, and like they're kind of exploring this. You see like a big, vast space of virtual stuff. And in the Marchen Garden, it's possible to freely form a party among the members who can participate in battle and explore areas recreated in virtual space. Players can move to the next area by completing the assigned mission in the current area. and battles against powerful enemies await upon reaching certain areas. So I'm looking forward to see how this space turns out and see how many stuff we can really fight once the game comes out. And by defeating powerful enemies in battle, you can obtain rare items, as well as a large amount of shard tokens required for Mystic Cube analysis. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And you could also see that Vaughn is also teaming up with Shizuna, Ren, even Kincaid, likely in the virtual space as well. So it will be very interesting to see how these parties will be formed in battle for sure. And now next up we got the Mystic Cube. And this Mystic Cube is another part of the game as well, which in exchange you can exchange your shard tokens by attaining exploring Marchen Garden and the shard search. Then Mario will analyze the Mystic Cube that exists on the Orbital Network. In addition to obtaining a large amount of Sepith via analysis, you can also acquire consumable items such as accessories, consumable items, rare equipment, even more special items required for craft upgrades. So we have established that in Reverie that there's gonna be consumable items, accessories, and equipment in that place, and this is gonna be the same for this place too as well. So I'm looking forward to see how much of this feature we'll be abusing, of course. And this also next feature is also her doing a mini game, which I'm very looking forward to see how that turns out. I think I have footage of the mini game itself. We'll just have to see with our own eyes, of course. And now we'll just take a look at our next photo. And the next photo, of course, is you see Elaine, Swin, and Nadia. They're searching around using shard search. So I'm assuming during the main story, we're gonna be using a lot of shard search that doesn't involve combat, but we'll just have to see how that's gonna be searching. Now, you see that on the bottom right thing, you can press R3 while in the city or dungeon, and you see this whole thing expand around for the player to discover objects to react to shards, even get shard tokens who are used in Mystic Cube. You can find items, recovery equipment, even breakable objects hidden by the shard camouflage. So it's pretty obvious we could be using this often, very often, throughout the course of the game, and yeah. It'll be very interesting to see how much of this will be actually used. Will it be entire hidden cover game? I don't know. But yeah. And also, one last thing. We got the craft stuff. I'm oh boy. If you guys know what we are gonna be power creeping, we're gonna be upgrading our crafts. Literally, for every single character, we're gonna have to find the equipment to upgrade our crafts for everybody. So right now they only shown Vaughn, Agnes, Nadia, Swin, Elaine, Kincaid. Even got freaking Judith and Quatre as well. I'm assuming there's gonna be more party members, so I can't wait to customize all these characters and try to max out all the good skills that I want to use. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that goes. I want to see the effects of what it'll be really upgraded as well, and how broken it will be in combat. So we'll just have to see. As you guys can see, it goes up to level 50. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go beyond level 50. That's for sure. I'm hoping we do go to past 100. But then again, that's just me. That's just honestly me. I don't know if it will happen, but it could happen. And next up, we got the MTSC Support, which you have this Mirabelle, of course, which is of course the one that's showing right now. And she's showing off the CP Supply Service, Item Support, Activity Support, and Select Sound Service, which I'm going to get to the next part right now, which you get to change the Combat Battle BGM in the Marchen Garden. So right now you see ones from the original soundtrack. You see the I'm Grin-Cats, you got the Diabolic Hall. Unfortunately, I don't know the names of these, but I'm assuming we're going to be getting... If there was one thing that I've complained during Reverie, was that it didn't have Combat Battle BGM changing, so I was pretty disappointed in that. But when we're about to get into this mode, we're going to be getting combat battle BGM changing, which is pretty exciting. So like, yeah, I'm looking forward to see how much music we can get. I want to see how much music that we know about Crimson Sin. I actually want to hear the soundtrack so bad. But then again, I need to play the game to really know the soundtrack, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, we're gonna be showing off the next gameplay assessment, which already has video footage. So I'm gonna meet you guys there. All right, now we're back at the gameplay section. I am looking at a Dengeki footage that I'm seeing, and it has no sound, of course. So like, yeah, you guys are gonna witness sound background music. But anyways, let's play this video right now and see what we have in store for at least 4 minutes of like gameplay. Wrong, there is sound. Never mind, I'm just gonna mute the sound. You can see Kasim just did a craft, no idea what it is. And you see Fairy doing a craft too. So I'm assuming we're gonna be teaming up Vaughn, Fairy, and Kasim as well. So very interesting to see how that goes. You can see a bit of Ren gameplay. And Ren is actually gonna be exploring, along with Vaughn, Agnes, and Swin. It looks to be in the Marchen Garden. Oh my god. I'm very see how Ren does in combat. Ooh, she does darkness with her arts thing. Of course. She attacks very quickly with a scythe as well. Let's see what her crafts are. She has a lot of expensive crafts. 40 CP, 70 CP. What's this? Is that the frickin' Potter Modder machine? Oh my god. We're gonna use that as a craft. Those wondering what the Potter Modder is, don't worry about it. You should check like the previous games to know what it is, so... Anyway, next up would be the Swin, Nadia, and Elaine exploration in the tower. If you guys remember the tower, Trion Tower, I think? You see the LaBeoul antenna shop, of course. They're doing shard scan searches as well. So I'm like, we're gonna be exploring that area that we couldn't explore in the previous game. So it'll be very interesting to see, like, that turns out right here. There's an antenna shop as well. And you know, it looks to be so far, like, pretty interesting as well. I'm hoping we can get inside Trion Tower. I don't think we can, but right now they're searching for like shard stuff, using the shard search, of course. So I'm very interested to see like how many new NPCs that we'll be finding, and how much we'll be really exploring and interacting with other places. You can see that thing right here. You can scan using searchers. I believe this is known as like the Marchen Garden rest point, I think? The MTSC. And like, we can access to the Marchen Garden anytime. And like, yeah. We can literally access to the Marchen Garden anytime. We get to do the customization stuff as well. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be pretty fun once we get into the full version of the game. You should see her dancing with boob jiggle physics. Fucking Falcon with the boob jiggle physics as well, so. You get to see, what is this? Like some opening box? Oh, you could see like Amare using some S tokens. It looks like we are holding the X button to see, fill it up to 100% using the X tokens. And we get some items along the way, and we keep going, I guess? Knowing how many times it has, not really sure. And we could stop at any time to see what we can get. You can get Sepith, you can even get items. So that's a pretty cool feature, as long as we have those S tokens that we collect throughout battle, or like exploration-wise. And yeah, I believe that's gonna be all for a lot of the gameplay stuff that they have to show. So like, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this analysis video of Kuro no Kiseki to Crimson Sin. with the latest updates, and I'll keep you guys updated if they show more info in the coming weeks. See you guys all next time.